Hey, thanks, Bionic. I appreciate that. All right, mono black aggro, mono black knights, kind of, mono black Ayara. This card is just sweet in general in both an aggressive deck and especially this mono black deck. This deck is basically like an incidentally knight deck. Like, these all just happen to be knights. So, like, at that point, you might as well play some Smitten Swordmasters for some random birding people out. We got some Rankle and some Spawn of Mayhem here at the top end. So, nice consistent mana base here. Let's dive on into some matches and see how we go. We gotta run a little bit hot. This mono black deck can 2-0 streak us into Mythic today. Yeah, it's like mono black creatures, most of which are incidentally knights. So as a heads up for people that have been enjoying my little bit of an extended schedule, starting today, I'm reining things back a little bit into what I'm referring to as normal people work hours. So my plan is to be live from 7 a.m. till about 2 or 2:30 Central. Most of the previous days this week, I'd been running till about 4 or 5 o'clock, and then Wednesday I ran extra late. So we're going to be normalizing my schedule a bit back down to 7.5 hours a day live. Still planning to keep up the one modern deck in the morning and then a bunch of standard to follow. Oh no! We have to play against a good player. Alright, so we're playing against Show here. I'm sure they're usually streaming, right? So you can probably watch this from both sides. Or are they playing off stream? They might be playing off stream. Alright, let's see what they're working on. Don't see them as live. Yeah, sleep is good. Gym time is good. My wife not divorcing me is good. You know, a lot of things in life are good. I forgot to put full art swamps in my deck. What a punt. I think I'm supposed to play this as a 2/2 flyer here. I think I want to just do this to have the most likely chance to hit next turn with this. To be fair, he's ranked 42, right? God, what a tilt. That's incredibly unfortunate. Punished. I hoped leading on Temple, maybe he wasn't playing a ramp deck, but, you know, obviously. Can our swamps even produce mana if they're not foil? Asking the real questions. I want to say I haven't subbed for a while, but I'm back now. By the way, the Rankle deck has been doing some serious work for me. Went silver to plat. Nice! Congrats. Yeah, the deck's a lot of fun. This is, we're definitely playing a deck that frequently isn't going to beat a time wipe, so we're also not going to play around time wipe in most instances. So my intention is to crack them for 6 and then play a Spawn of Mayhem next turn and then concede if they time wipe us. Because if I don't play this, my clock's just not fast enough to meaningfully win the game here. And if I do play this, we just can't beat a sweeper, so. So he says. Well, he hasn't windmill slammed it yet. Alright. Ding. I'm gonna play the Gutterbones out here because if they only make a third zombie this turn as a blocker, I can Murderous Rider one and then get it on the ground for a couple extra points. The wording on Time Wipe does not require a creature to be on the board, no. Alright, so is the second Murderous Rider lethal? Wow, do they not have a land? That's really good for us. I believe this is lethal because they don't have a land. Right, yeah, it's exactly lethal. It's pretty good beats. Hashtag sometimes lucky. Alright, so... I think I want Duress. What do I not want here? Is this too slow? I feel like this is probably too slow, right? Is it crazy to just board in one of these as just like a 5th discard spell, just to like 2-for-1 myself? I feel like that's not unreasonable. Nox posted almost an hour-long video ranting about how Arena was not ready to be released. If you watch this channel, you probably know that I also feel the same way. That they called this a release to appease shareholders and push another wave of marketing. How was Vanafear card? It was okay. Not really a huge fan of that deck in general. It's just too linear. I don't find it very interesting. I think I want to keep my 3rd land here. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, Punchworthy. He's a lot bigger than I am, right? So, like, because he came from Hearthstone, if you, like, look at his follower accounts on social media metrics, he's a lot higher than I am. Yeah, no problem, Mr. Bunny. I don't think that's strictly true. I don't think that's strictly true, Waffle. I think it's fine to monetize a product if people are willing to pay for it, if you're being transparent about the fact that it might not be in the most stable state. I think that's acceptable. But I think the fact Nox ranted specifically about like lack of features, which Arena definitely has a lack of a number of features, but like even just before even considering lack of features, just like looking at the stability of the client as it progressed over the last year, like the stability and performance has gotten worse. Yeah, and they already did a big marketing push last year surrounding the beta, right? Like last year they did a big try our beta push. This year they wanted to do a try our release push. Someone who wants to play Kratz Knight FNM but doesn't have Rankle, the 2-mana Menace Knight, or Gutterbones. What list? I don't... That's too many cards to be missing. I mean, I think the answer is you play the list from last season, right? You don't have any of the new cards, you play the list from last season? Like, go look at my list from Twitch Rivals, I think is the realistic answer. Yeah, I haven't played Gutterbones and Aristocrats list in a little while. Three-plus player games are probably never coming to Arena. If you're looking for a fun card game that has 3-plus player game capability, I'd highly recommend the new game Mythgard that just hit open beta. I've been enjoying that one a lot. Yo. We're probably just dead from here.
Here we go.
Hey, Poxy, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I want social features, friends list, and chat. Yeah, there's a lot of people that want that. If I'm being completely honest, I have zero desire for social features in the game. Like on my list of wants, my list of things that would improve my Magic Arena experience. Having a friends list is like almost at the literal bottom. Grazer on 1 or 2, all 3 games of stuff beat. I have no friends, I just have Crashin' Buddy. Oh, Crashin' Buddy. Yeah, I agree. Please never make an in-game chat. Because of the integrity of your brand, you seem well positioned to be a big player for another card game / company. Yeah, I did Hex for a while. I don't know. I just can't play a product that I don't really enjoy a ton. And like every other card game after I play it a bunch, I just like lose interest, generally speaking. It's just like other games just aren't as deep as Magic on average. Ugh. I guess. Kai, thanks for the 10 months. It's also pretty impossible for other games to break into the market. Like the Mythgard game that I mentioned, the gameplay is great, but like even with great gameplay, the chances of a brand new game breaking into the market are just like astronomically small. Even if they do everything right. And that's, you know, small companies often don't do everything right because they can't or they don't know how. I might be biased. I mean, I've been saying Magic's one of the best games ever since before it paid my mortgage. So like, you know, for people that aren't familiar with me, there was one point where I traveled to play in a competitive Magic tournament for 13 weeks straight during grad school or just after grad school. And like, for people that aren't familiar with competitive Magic tournaments, like doing well financially in competitive Magic tournaments in paper means like breaking even. So like, I've been playing a lot of Magic for a long time. This game has more replayability and returnability and holds attention much better than any other game ever can. Mythgard seems neat. Their resource system is great. Taking the variants out of the resource sounds awesome. Their combat is super innovative. The Mythgard combat system feels like it takes the best parts of Magic's combat and the best parts of Hearthstone's combat and combines them. But again, I'm a realist. If I was streaming full time, was I or my wife our primary breadwinner? I was a stay-at-home. After my oldest was born, I was a stay-at-home dad. Before my oldest was born, I was a systems analyst for the same company my wife works for. What do I think is Magic's special sauce? I think the big thing that keeps people coming back to Magic that Hearthstone really failed to emulate is that Magic has well, we're super, super dead if they draw lands. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Magic has so much deeper deck building than Hearthstone does. Am I accepting historic submissions? I am accepting historic submissions. Have I reached north of 6 figures? I'm interested in a personal question. I've been curious about income streamers, particularly Magic streamers. Have you ever reached north of 6 figures by streaming? Yes. So as of right now, to give you, and people have written articles about this before. What's his name? Disguised Toast made a video. So larger Twitch streamers get $3.50 per subscriber. And as of right now, at this very moment, my channel currently has 2,985 subscribers. And some people don't like sharing information like that, but like anybody reasonable with a brain can like figure out those numbers. And like I don't think transparency is a bad thing. This is my job. I'm here because I like Magic, but I'm also here because it pays my bills. $29.85 at the moment. And that number fluctuates. I think we're dead. Remember when we said if they drew lands we were gonna die? How much do I set back for taxes each month? My effective tax rate last year I think ended up being around 30%. People get edgy about discussing how much money they make because people being afraid to discuss how much money they make takes power away from normal people and gives it to the executives. Yes, the converted mana cost of a spell is always the number in the upper right hand corner. I am not incorporated. If I make so much money, why do I want socialism? Because I have a heart and I'm capable of empathy and compassion. Real change doesn't happen until people who aren't going to be positively impacted by that change don't also fight for it. So, when I talk about things like Medicare for all and taking care of people, I personally don't need that. I'm very fortunate. But it's important to fight for those things for people who do. Because not everyone is as fortunate as I am. Alright, definitely 4 of these. Is this card even good? I feel like this card's not even good, right? Like, it doesn't stop Nissalands, and it's at least not good here. I want all my removal. The Midnight Reaper's probably kind of medium here. They actually can't kill this card. Maybe she's great here. No, it doesn't stop Nissalands. Yeah, Beetle doesn't even really pressure. Let's do that so I just don't have too much removal. When I started at my most recent job, I had moved there from a different location and found out my coworkers were getting $3 less an hour than I was. Yep. I've been trying a various of Rakdos Knights and splashing for Royal Scions. I've been finding First Strike plus Trample is good. Yeah, I'd believe that. I've mentioned a couple of times that I think an aggressive deck with Royal Scions is probably very good. And that's part of the reason why I worked on the aggressive Temur Planeswalker shell that we played yesterday. To veer back away from politics, one of the biggest challenges for non-Magic CCGs is the CCG model means there's no realistic ceiling on how much time and money you could spend on Magic, so you never reach the end. Yeah, exactly. And that's something we talk about too on this channel, right? Is like, Magic's not just one game, right? Like, Magic is a bunch of little games all wrapped up into one. So I think I attack here, and I think actually instead of playing this, I'm actually just going to murder their Paradise Druid. I think I just don't want to get Nissa next turn. Yeah, Magic as a game engine is very, very, very accurate. It's like a little unfortunate, but like land for Rankle is super fortunate. Let's go. I'm gonna let us both draw a card here because it puts them to 3, which means Rankle's lethal in the air next turn. So part of the problem I see with this mono black shell is that we don't really have the tools to close these games out once they stabilize a little bit. So like on the play, this felt very reasonable, but I feel like on the draw behind Goose, Oko, and all these other things, we're probably just gonna fall behind too quickly. I wonder if I want Duress on the draw rather than Drill Bit, because I'm gonna have a hard time hitting them to trigger Drill Bit. And most of the big plays I want to take are Duressable anyways. Yeah, that's a great way. That's a great way to phrase it, Cubby Pizza. Magic is a strong game engine with rough digital clients. Other digital games frequently have good digital clients but weak game engines. And again, I think it's really important to highlight that even if your game engine and client are good, that doesn't mean you automatically succeed. The Bright Side, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hoaglandia. All right, so do I lead on Gutterbones on 1? I think so, because if they Oko on 2, I can just grasp it, right? And then start attacking. Duress is Knight's a phenomenal draw because it lets me Duress and still use all my mana this turn. My day is going swell. Thanks for asking. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. All right, so do I play this? I don't play that into the Wicked Wolf, right? That sucks. I am afraid of the Big Bad Wolf. And like, here's the impossible part now, like, because they drew the untapped land and they don't have this. Oh, there's a card in our sideboard explicitly for the Big Bad Wolf, and I forgot to board it in. There's a card that exiles a black creature with power 3 or well, we had a chance. We had a chance. We do not anymore. When you're playing optimally, are you supposed to be afraid of playing around something that's possibly in their hand, or do you just have to play it? The answer to that question is, it depends, like most questions in Magic. We're gonna play at least 2 more with this, but I'm kind of getting the feeling that, like, this deck is just a bad version of the Red Black Knights deck. That, we might not get to Red Black Knights today because we had to cut the line, but it kind of feels like this is clunky. Like, not having, like, Embercleave is really good. Honestly, not having the 2-drop knight, the Stormfist Crusader, is a big deal. Like, that 2-drop knight, the red-black with Menace that draws each player card every turn, that card is really powerful. Yeah, epic downfall. And that card's even kind of narrow against these Nissa decks, right? Like, it exiles the wolf, but it doesn't hit anything else that they have. I think one of the reasons Magic succeeds is because the vast majority of standard formats, even if there is a best deck that can beat the field. There's almost always tools to take it off the table. Yeah, and sideboarding's a big part of that, right, Hunox? Like a lot of other games don't have sideboarding as a thing, basically. It's not a feature they offer. All right, so before they have Sabotage mana up here, I think I'm just going to hit them for 1 here and then go thing. Yeah, we took that unsummon because this little guy is about to run this health total down to 0. I think Wicked Wolf is just a super playable card. That if I had to pick a card that I undervalued during spoiler season and ended up being much better than I was expecting it to be in practice, it's definitely Wicked Wolf. That card punches way above its mana cost. It's quite possibly the best Flame Tongue Kavu they've printed maybe ever into Standard. That ever might be strong, but it feels like that might be accurate, honestly. I think the sideboard size should be higher, lower, or is it perfect? I think it's fine how it is. I think the current sideboard sizes are very reasonable. Down to 10. Next turn, they play the Snipe Pack. I murder it. I kill them. The blue-green flash deck's a deck that gets a lot of questions asked about it. It's definitely the deck that is the... I think this is the worst deck that people play in this format. It's consistently unimpressive. Yeah, I agree, Bandit. In certain situations, it's much better than Questing Beast. You're on with the insights today. Here's the rest of my bits. Thanks for the support, Rogue. Worse than Fires. Yeah, the Fires decks are at least doing something that's, like, genuinely powerful by, like, playing a bunch of 5-drops. Like, this deck, the most powerful thing it's doing dies to Doomblade. Like, when your biggest play just gets 1-for-1 by a Doomblade, it doesn't seem very good. Kenrith was alright. That's definitely a deck that would be better without the Q combo in it. I'm excited to make any Brawl decks or play the format. So, I forgot to put foils in. We're gonna play at least one more after this. I'll remember to put foils in. Thank you for the reminder. So, I want to focus on this match for a second. I want to drag my curve down. Duress is a good way to do that, and some removal spells are a good way to do that. So the goal against the opponent's deck is to be able to generate a double spell turn as soon as possible. I think I might board in one of these two. As far as Brawl's concerned, I'm excited for Arena to be supporting more formats, but I personally am not a huge fan of Best of One Magic. So my current intentions are to not play any Brawl on stream. My sub-survey that we circulated at the end of last month had a very strong response interest in seeing some historic content on the channel. So I am planning to add some best of 3 historic content probably later this month once the standard submissions slow down a little bit. If you have ideas that you'd like to see played on stream in Historic at some point in the future, be sure to submit those through the deck queue now. They're open now. They'll be $10 for subscribers, just like Standard. How popular were the VODs of Brawl that we played? They were okay, but like one-off videos like that are tough to judge. Usually you have to put out like half a dozen to a dozen videos because like the first time you do a thing, it always goes well because people are like, oh, this thing is new. Figuring out how much longevity there is there takes a little bit more time. Is Historic going to be the MTGA Modern? It is. are all singleton formats, best of one. So, Commander, Singleton, these aren't really competitive Magic formats. So, casual Magic, generally speaking, is played as a best of one game. I'm playing this pre-combat because if they want to counter this, it allows me to attack for 1. If they don't counter this, I'm going to pass the turn because I don't want to attack this into a 2-2 or a 2-1. Why not play Order of Midnight there? Because this could potentially be a 2-for-1 later, and this is never going to be a 2-for-1. It's just a little bit of reach potentially. And as always, what we play here can be a little bit fluid. So like, if Standard feels medium and Historic's not really catching on, we can explore Brawl. Do I track my arena stats anyway? Not really. I don't spend enough time playing any single decks to have statistically relevant sample sizes with them. You know what? I am going to offer this trade. Will there be a time where we have MTGO Modern, and then Historic, and then Standard as a regular schedule? No, I don't intend to play 3 formats in the same day, I don't think. If, just to make my, because I do believe in transparency, to make my plans abundantly clear, in a world where Historic is wildly popular, I do eventually intend to scale back. Magic Online is an application that I use. Because even when Magic Online is good, it's still, even when Modern's good, Magic Online still kind of blows as a piece of software. Yeah, and it's getting worse. So I just passed priority here, offering a trade if they want to trade. They do, okay. Now I'm just going to head to the Space Jam here. So, come on and slam. Welcome to the jam. In the Teamer Friends list, I thought we changed Nissa to Sarkhan. We did change Nissa to Sarkhan. There should be several Teamer lists up on the website, up on Stream Decker, as we iterated through it. They were missing a second green. MTGO is not that much harder to follow than Magic Arena. I think, in my experience, I think a lot of the Magic Online's hard to follow is really biased against the fact that people don't know what cards are Modern legal. Like, if you don't know the text, if I was literally just playing Magic, or if I was literally just playing Arena, without Deckmaster and people didn't know any of the cards, it would be very similar to Magic Online. Yeah, the rate of play on Magic Online is glacial compared to Magic Arena, in large part due to the auto tapper. The auto tapper is very, very good. Oh, yeah. Quench my Gutterbones, daddy. You know just how I like it. Any mid-range deck that's reasonable this season will likely include some green, just so you can Questing Beast to beat the field decks. Reminder, you all could be playing games where you don't get to blame your losses on variants. All Magic players are casuals. Wow, Burgle with the fire this morning. Yeah, the lack of, honestly, quench it. Quench. Quench it. Quench it good. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Quench my bones. Do 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 do. Boo do. Nate Dog 707. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hoaglandia. I appreciate you keeping me around with that this month. Whoop. Whoop. I'm gonna go ahead and pass here. If they play this 3-1, I'm gonna play this 3-1. Again, just playing this now while they're tapped out so we can commit more to the board. Remember, even though they're getting this into play, this is not a card that meaningfully impacts the board. It cannot block non-flying creatures, so it doesn't block any of these. Simic Flash is really bad against any deck with 1 mana creatures in it. Hey, Dibbles, thanks for the 9 months of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, the Flash deck is also not great against Field of the Dead because you can't counter Field of the Dead. Now, I'd be pretty surprised if the Simic Flash deck was popular in that event, because I would bet money that a significant of the people playing Simic Flash are playing it because it's cheap. And the play anything event, you can play any deck you want, right? So, like, there's not really a draw to playing a cheap deck. Up, down, life's like a jump rope. Doot, 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 doot. We've hit 2 mythics today on random cards, and they've both just been 40 gems. What a tilt. Alright, let's get some basic swamps in here that are foil. A Imbot. Have a good time at F&M. Oh, I don't need to re-export. I just changed the lands. This habit. Every time we edit the deck, just like export, re-upload is like drilled into my brain. Nah, I like the foil lands I have. Debating between Rakdos, Splash Scions, or Teemo with Oko plus Scions. Scions is definitely one of my favorite cards from the set too. They've been very reasonable. How much? What's the price point to have you play all foil basics except one? What a monster! What a monster! Once upon a time, there was a Golos deck. Right. Big Buck Snow Grazer. Big Buck Snow Grazer. Yay! We can heave and haw and pretend like there's a decision, but we all know there's not. Huh? So, like, I'm probably not activating this next turn. So I think I'm just going to do this and hit them for 5. Because then that puts counters on these. So that way next turn I can hit for 4 and then do this and get counters on them again. Yeah, Magic Arena definitely made Magic a lot more accessible than it once was. Actually, I'm probably just supposed to pump here again, right? Just make sure they didn't hit a sweeper. Oh, actually, was that wrong? I was supposed to take Grazer there. Yeah, I was supposed to take Grazer there. No, they have blockers anyways. Nah, the Krasis is right, because they have field. Taking the Krasis is right, because they have field anyways. And again, this is that problem we were talking about where, like, we got close to the finish line here, but, like, with no Ember Cleaves, no reach, like, I can't clear it, right? Like, I can't get those final points of damage, and it doesn't feel like. No, it's a really good draw. Yeah, I need to talk to the person who submitted the Clack Bridge build around. I'm gonna have to either send them their money back or have them change to something else. That card's just not competitive. We're about to get time wiped and cry. Sinkhole's a safe reprint. You're a monster. I didn't play this out to lifelink 3 inside of combat because I didn't want my opponent to wrath this off the board. What? Well, I mean, that's an out, I guess. I suppose that's an out. Someone should probably call the police because there's been a robbery, but I'll take it. Never didn't have it. Yep, something. I want my discard spells. I want my Legion's End to clear out some zombies so I can make lethal attacks. Midnight Reaper's good against sweepers. I think I'm going to trim Order of the Midnight and Murderous Rider here. They probably thought I was going to bring back Gutterbones over and over again to kill them. Yeah, probably just, like, weren't connecting that I had to tap Arya to make that happen. Very possible. This matchup's like night and day different when they don't have, what's it called? Grazer. Didn't get Veil of Summered, so that's nice. Yeah, just never not the sweeper, right? So even if they bounce my creature here, I can still kill Teferi or deal damage. If I draw a land, an untapped land next turn, we'll play Spawn of Mayhem for sure. If I don't draw a land, I'll probably kill Teferi. Yeah.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
At the very least, even if Grazer isn't a cornerstone in general, it's what gives the deck such an absurd play against the so it gives the archetype such an absurd play against the aggro decks in the format, right? And like just like here, because if I would have hit Spawn of Mayhem this turn, we might have been able to power through this, but they're just gonna like drop a field and then drop a plaza to gain a little bit. Yeah, I agree, Burgle. A deck that wants a bunch of lands anyways. Okay. So, oh, that's awkward. The stupid witch's cottage. I'd be very surprised if this card is better than a swamp. You mean MTG Finance is wretched? It really is, Polly. If the only reason you can think of they shouldn't ban a card is because it costs too much money, full stop, ban the card. I mean, if this is taking away, if I'm taking away anything from this, then it feels like this deck's not doing a very good job of punishing the opponent's deck. Counter my spell, draw a card. That's great. Mox Opal gives players 2 mana on the first turn of the game. For people that are wondering why I'm saying this card shouldn't be legal. Well, their mana kind of sucks so far, so that's nice. Okay, Glass Casket likely means that they don't have a sweeper. Can I draw a land, please? Oh, magic sucks and then you die. Well, the good news is they're not getting a zombie this turn, right? So if I can finally draw a third land, we can murder this and put them to 1. So that would be nice. Yeah, what if Landmore Elves cost 0 mana, didn't die to removal, had haste, and made all 5 colors? Is a great description. We kept a 2-lander this game, right? I'm pretty sure we kept a 2-lander. Maybe they don't have an answer to my flying creature and it's just going to go the distance here. It's going the distance. It's going for speed. It's all alone in this time of need. It's racing and pacing and plotting its course. It's riding and blinding. Hey, look, time walk. Time walk and a time wipe. Thank you, sir. May I have another? That'll do. Yeah, I'm off this deck. Let's play some Bruxes. This deck feels like a bad version of the red-black aggro deck that we were playing. The mana's a little bit more consistent, staying only in 1 color, but you just lose so much power not playing the good red card. So just for quick reference, this is a deck that's on my website that we'll be getting to playing next stream. Stormfist Crusader, Bone Crusher Giant, Fervent Champion, Ember Cleave, like, all these cards are very, very good, and getting to play them makes a lot of sense, even if it makes the mana marginally worse. This card especially is worth splashing for all on its own. It is very, very good. All right. We're gonna do a long session with this. This will be the last deck of the day. Unless this deck is atrocious, we're probably going to play for like 2 hours. This one was really sweet last time we played it. I'm going to go ahead and run one quick break here and grab a snack, and then we're going to dive on into some Grixis